All right, so far we have looked at the media assessment, we've looked at an example of nonverbal communication in the media, as well as discussed what kind of bad nonverbal habits you have in controversial discussions. So then let's talk about what are some no-nos. There's 3 attitudes that you do not want to have when you're in a divisive conversation. First one, don't be intimidating, right? Do not try to be aggressive when you're having conversations with people. How can we change this through our nonverbals? 1, keep an appropriate distance. Do not invade someone's personal space in the case that you are getting in a heated conversation. Make smaller gestures. Typically, having longer, bigger gestures might indicate that you're being more aggressive, and it might make the other person feel uncomfortable. Additionally, maintain appropriate eye contact. Don't be staring at someone in the eye and not blinking. Make sure to break eye contact at some point, especially when you're speaking, because it reduces that aggression. Additionally, be aware of the volume of your voice as well as the speed. As you get more anxious, the speed of your voice will continually get faster and faster. Your tone of voice will probably get louder if you're getting excited about something to explain things with others. Just make sure that you're maintaining something that is appropriate, that is not going to make the other person feel uncomfortable. Also, and this is definitely deemed unappropriate, use touch affectionately. Make sure it's appropriate. So it depends on what context you're in. But if it is someone that you're close to and you want to keep that relationship something that is non-confrontational, use touch. Maybe grab someone's hand, grab them or touch them on the shoulder, touch them on the arm, just to signal, hey, I'm still on your side, we're still friends, even though we argue about this thing. The second attitude you don't want to have is don't be standoffish. First, avoid rolling your eyes. Rolling eyes shows the other person that you are contemptuous of them. You don't take them seriously. And the big point about not being standoffish is you don't want to look like you're lacking respect for the other person. So also show interest in your facial displays and movements, meaning don't be looking around the room, don't cross your arms, kind of look around, avoiding eye contact. You want to be engaged with what the other person is thinking. That means nodding your head, maybe saying, oh, okay. Also, keep an open posture. As I said before, when you close your arms, you are typically closing yourself off to the other person. It makes them feel like, it puts them on the defensive. Also, be sure to use an engaged tone. Try not to use vocal fry, because the end of the sentences going down low, kind of trailing off, the end of the sentences. You want to make sure that you're staying engaged with the other person. Finally, the last attitude that you want to avoid is being submissive. This is common for a lot of people who feel very uncomfortable in these situations where you're speaking about controversial issues that you feel strongly about, but you feel like the other person's dominating over you. In order to prevent that, make sure you're keeping a healthy posture. That means shoulders back, chest normal. We have a tendency when you feel scared or defensive to close yourself off, to bring your shoulders in, maybe slouch a little bit. Definitely try to bring it out. It makes you feel more confident as well. Use a normal speaking voice. Make it more quiet. If you feel kind of nervous, your voice might shake a little bit. Try to definitely maintain the fact that you feel confident in what you're saying. Don't go too fast, because that can also, one, make it harder to think of what you are going to say to the other person, but it can also speed up the conversation, which can breed to emotions and ideas, and what you're saying to the other person getting out of control. Additionally, maintain appropriate eye contact. If you are feeling really uncomfortable in this situation, you might want to look away, not look at the other person. Try to avoid this. Try to look at the other person, especially when you're listening. So then we know the bad things, the things you shouldn't do. So what should you do? right? Let's look at some good nonverbal techniques.